Hello, this is John Long. This is Clean Bread and Cheese Creek, and today is April the 5th, and I'm going to show you the incredible results of the cleanup after our volunteers came through and did such a wonderful job cleaning up Bread and Cheese Creek again this year. We are starting out in the Berkshire section, and we're going to head all the way down to the North Point section. I'm going to try and go as quickly as possible because I know the battery is limited on this. I haven't counted the number of people who have showed up yet from the waivers, but I have a feeling that we've broken a record. We were extremely busy all day long with huge numbers of volunteers coming out. I know that we had people that came out from the DMLA chapter. I know that we had people that came out from the Cub Scouts, from the Boy Scouts. I know we had people come out from local community associations. I know we had people come out from, specifically from the Berkshire Community Association, and we had people who came out from Fort Meade. It was just absolutely incredible. And I will make sure once I get back home that I name as many people to thank you as possible. And look at this. This is nearly spotless. I mean, you saw the video before and the amount of trash and debris that was in this section alone. Our volunteers are beyond words. You know, between our volunteers as well as the sponsors and supporters that we have, the results are no less than miraculous. I have to thank some of our most incredible sponsors. I have to start off the list with Gold's Gym. That is our oldest and longest sponsor, who donated water to our cleanup. They're an incredible group of people. Our next longest sponsor, I'm going to have to say, that was here for us, once again, was Got to Go Portable Restrooms, who donated a portable restroom to our event. And next, I'm going to have to say the next longest sponsor, I would have to say, which was Hercules Auto Parts, who once again, by the owner Tom Coffin, who helped us out quite a bit with our cleanup. We're heading right now, I think it's under Mansfield Bridge. We're continuing our search of Berkshire. Now, any of you who don't know the incredible history of Bread and Cheese Creek and its historical importance, I'll give you a brief lesson on that. Bread and Cheese Creek is one of the oldest named streams in the U.S. We have a copy of a deed when land was purchased on Bread and Cheese Creek with the purpose of establishing the Bread and Cheese Creek grist mill, which goes as far back as 1730s. That's way before the United States even existed as a country, which is absolutely incredible. On top of that, the next thing about Bread and Cheese Creek is its importance during the War of 1812. During the War of 1812, both the British and the American forces camped along Bread and Cheese Creek before the Battle of North Point, which took place on September 12, 1814. And the British had set up their headquarters at the Methodist Meeting House, which was also along Bread and Cheese Creek. And then after the battle, the Methodist Meeting House, or say during, became a field hospital for both sides. Also, at the intersection of Bread and Cheese Creek and North Point Road is where the Maryland 5th Militia had established a point where they reconnoitered and started their second attack against the British. Additionally, as the local legend goes, Bread and Cheese Creek was also one of the major turning points, thanks to the Battle of the War of 1812, due to two young boys. Captain Ezekiel of Ezekiel Sharpshooters had asked for two volunteers to find where General Ross was, so they knew his position. Two young boys, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old, volunteered. They went sneaking up along Bread and Cheese Creek until they found General Ross coming out of Gorsuch Tavern from having had breakfast. Now, back then, the British wore these garish uniforms of red with lots of epaulets and gold, so it was very easy to point out, on top of the fact that he also was on a big white horse. So, the boys saw him, and their orders were originally to report back, but they knew they had a chance. And they thought, well, what if we could kill General Ross? They knew it would be an instant death sentence to the two of them, because at that point in time, the British were the most notorious marksmen in the entire world. So they figured they'd each get off one shot before the sound of their muskets and the smoke from their muskets would give away their positions, and they knew they would be instantly killed. So both boys shot. One of them, his shot went through General Ross's arm and into his side. General Ross died in less than 24 hours. The British, of course, returned fire, killing both these young boys. But after the battle was over and the boys were found, both young boys were found to be in the act of reloading their muskets, their rifles, not in the act of running away. It says a lot to the spirit of our country. It says a lot about the spirit of Dundalk, because if you think about it this way, not too much earlier than this, the professional military force of the United States was protecting Washington, D.C. And when encountered with the British, they ran for their lives, which meant that the British thought, given that only a group of militia was protecting Baltimore and the back door to Fort McHenry, thought it was going to be a walk in the park for them. But it certainly wasn't. Which goes to show, just as Margaret Mead has said famously, one should never underestimate the power of volunteers in large number to change the world. In fact, they are the only thing that ever really has. And we could say that about our wonderful volunteers at Bread and Cheese Creek. Now, on an environmental standpoint, as we go through Bread and Cheese Creek, one of the things that you'll notice is there's a lot of erosion on the sides of the walls. You see this clay? And that is all from the excess amount of water that's pouring through this little stream. Now, this stream was not designed to handle this volume of water at all, unfortunately. And that is because the water is being channeled in here from the current stormwater management system. Now I'm going to break here on part one as we finish the Berkshire section, since I'm going to have to crawl underneath of this, and I'm sure nobody wants to see a bunch of darkness on a video. I'll start on the other side, and we'll talk about the importance of stormwater management in Dundalk. Again, this is John Long with Clean Bread and Cheese Creek, and I'm showing everybody on April 5th, 2014, the incredible job our volunteers did. I'll be back with you in 1 second.